Oh my God. 4 hours. My balls have shrunk.
What if I told you men who sleep 5 hours a night have significantly smaller testicles than those who sleep 7 hours or more? What if I also told you that men who routinely sleep 4 to 5 hours a night have a level of testosterone 10 years older than what they actually are? That is why I'm here to help you understand the effects of sleep deprivation and bring you some tips on how to get a good night's sleep. Now guys, stay tuned for the end for a little tip. Now, let's get started. Now, those claims that I just made were from the man himself, Mathew Walker. If you don't know who he is, search him up and your life will change. So recently, I just stumbled across a TikTok which led me to watch an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. So once I finished watching that video, I knew I had to share this information with you guys. This is really, really important. So you might be wondering, why the hell is sleep so important? Why am I carrying on? Why am I making this video? For starters, it helps you recover and rejuvenate. Literally just prepare for the next day and it helps your memory. I'm sure in this day and age, everyone can benefit from a better memory. It also improves your cardiovascular system. By sleeping 8 hours a night, it'll help you recover quicker. So whatever cardiovascular fitness goals you have, you're gonna get there way quicker just by sleeping 8 hours a night. It also helps repair muscles, right? It helps you get stronger, right? If you're training for hypertrophy, right, and you wanna, get bigger, right, obviously just by sleeping 8 hours a night, I'm sure you've been told this plenty of times, but I can't stress that enough. You sleep 8 hours a night, right, and you're training hypertrophy and you're trying to, put on muscle, you wanna look good, you wanna feel good, and you'll notice that you'll be putting on muscle way easier and way quicker. Finally, it helps boost your testosterone levels. So you get 8 hours of sleep, it's just gonna boost your testosterone way more, which means you can hold on to more muscle, you can stay leaner, and you'll even look good, you'll feel good as well, because testosterone helps with a lot of things, especially when it's produced naturally within your body. So there's many, many more benefits. If you wanna check out the actual podcast episode, highly recommend, links down below. And I also wanted to quickly touch on, this hustle culture, and I got sucked into it too. I thought, all you have to do, sleep 5, 6 hours a night and you just be working, you're gonna be doing something productive. And it was a little bit toxic to me, and to the point where I was only getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep and I thought I was a sick cunt. But it was hindering me to the point where I couldn't function, I was getting tired, I had to take naps during the day, and it's not how we are supposed to be. Sleep deprivation is even linked to a shorter lifespan in general, just letting you guys know. Now I'm going to give you 9 tips, right, to achieve those 8 hours of sleep, to try and grow your balls and get your testosterone levels even higher naturally, without having to inject yourself, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. All right, so tip number 1 is going to be to sleep with socks and gloves on. That's right, you heard me. Now my main tip is gonna be to sleep in a cool environment. Now the reason why it's important to sleep in a cool environment is that biologically your body is going to find it much harder to sleep and get into a sleepy state when it's in a much hotter environment, right? When your body sleeps, it actually needs to drop a couple degrees of temperature in order to get into that sleepy mode. The reason why I brought up socks and gloves is really to help warm your hands and your feet, to charm the blood away from your core, right? And it's going to irradiate that heat from your feet and from your hands, which will drop that temperature. Ways you can sleep in a cool environment, you can sleep with less clothes on, you can sleep with a singlet, you can sleep with just your jocks. You could also sleep with nothing on. You can sleep in your birthday suit. By all means, if that's something you want to do, that could be a way to sleep in a cool environment, right? So that brings me to tip number 2, all right? See you there. Tip number 2 is either you can have a hot shower or a hot bath before bed. So you might actually already do this, have a hot shower or just have a shower before bed. Sometimes you might actually find that it makes you a bit more sleepy. Now, what happens when you actually get into the bathtub? You might notice your cheeks might go a bit red, getting red all over, red rosy cheeks and all that sort of stuff. That's called vasodilation. So basically that means That means your body is actually warming up. Once you finish that bath and get out, you get hit with all this heat, and the heat irradiates and escapes from your body, which actually cools down your body's temperature, preparing your body for bed. So that's gonna lead me to tip number 3. Whew! All right, what's going on, everyone? Tip number 3, use a sleeping mask. All right, now this one, there's pros and cons to using a sleeping mask. The sleeping mask helps in various ways. It helps to sleep in, say you've gone to bed late, and then your room, it gets bright around like 8, and you need to sleep in. You can use this baby, right? And then all of a sudden you can sleep in a little bit if you can afford to, right? And you get your full 8 hours sleep right there. What I find helps a lot is that it helps me get to sleep. What I mean by that is using it, it makes me not open my eyes as much when I'm sleeping, if that makes sense. Now, hear me out, right? When I'm sleeping without a sleeping mask, I'd be lying down, had my eyes closed, and then, you know, when you have those instances where you can't sleep and then all of a sudden it'll just open my eyes, I feel like that whole attempt to fall asleep have just been reset. For me, wearing that sleeping mask, it makes me open my eyes less. It keeps my eyes closed. Like, you have to wear one and start using one to really notice the difference. I know they look weird and there's all different types. The good thing with these is that you can actually remove the actual eye pockets themselves. So like when you put them on, like you can adjust them and like they fit your face, because everyone's eyes are like differently head shapes. That is sleeping masks, and that is tip number 3. So let's move on. All right, that's right. I found this whistle and I'm using it. All right, tip number 2 is not to use your phone before bed. Now, there's a few things I can say about this, and essentially, I would say at least an hour before you actually hit the bed, put away your phone, put it down for the night, chuck it on a do not disturb. With the new latest update, iOS 15, they've revamped the whole notification and the do not disturb feature to make it really help you focus down on the work when you need to work. And there's also a bedtime feature where it'll actually notify you when it's time to go to bed, or an hour before you decide to go to bed. By not using your phone before bed, it helps your brain start getting into the sleep mode, right? It helps you wind down and it helps you get ready for bed. So then once you actually get into bed, you'll actually find it much easier to fall asleep. And on top of that, when it gets dark, I would also recommend using the night mode. Now that will pretty much gets rid of all the blue light. The blue light actually interferes with your melatonin levels a lot more. Really, the night mode on PC, Mac now they've got it, and on phones, it really turns your phone into a nice warm orange color. If there are certain instances you can't avoid not using, say, your phone, maybe for work, or your PC or laptop, definitely use that. Or even better, also invest in a pair of blue light glasses. The best thing I can say for you guys is to just an hour before your bed, put your phone down, do something else, because I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you can do besides going on your phone right before you go to sleep. Now, on to tip number 5. Whoa, what is going on? All right, tip number, I lost count. Magnesium. This is really good to really help your body relax the muscles, because doing a little bit of research, magnesium, it helps relax the muscles, and whenever you take some sort of magnesium supplement before bed, whether it be in tablet form, drink, you mix it in, there's like sleep formulas, you know, you can try take that and you'll notice a difference in your sleep. That's a quick tip from me. On to the next one. All right, tip number 6 is wind down time. All right, it's about doing something mindful before bed. Tip number 6 actually adds on to tip number 4. So once you've put your phone away an hour before bed, do something mindful, like reading a book, or even reading a book, or even just journaling down your thoughts, your goals, how today went. Those are actually quite important things to do, and mindful things that'll help get your mind into sleep mode. But alternatively, if you're someone techie, you know, you could type in your journals. You know, it's not the most ideal thing to do because of the whole blue light situation. You want to try and stay away from technology and light, and maybe keep your room as dim as possible, but bright enough to actually not strain your eyes. But I would recommend, you know, a physical book, and even the physical act of writing something down, I think is much more satisfying than just tapping on a phone. It is important to at least wind down before bed, which brings me on to tip number 7 and 8, because upon review, right? They both sort of coincide together. Now I've tied in being consistent with your bedtime with having a consistent bedtime routine. What this means is by trying to be as consistent as you can, going to bed at the same time each and every night, that will help you fall asleep at the same time. It'll get your body ready. Now, I know life gets in the way, but if you can, try be as consistent as possible. On top of that is having a bedtime routine, and a consistent one at that. The routine actually preps your body and preps your mind to go to sleep. Your brain knows, oh, okay, he's brushing my teeth. Oh, I'm about to go have a shower. Oh, he's about to go read a book. All right, so all those things are training your mind, all right, to wind down and prepare your body into that sleep mode. Moving on. Did you know coffee actually has a half-life of 5 hours after it's been ingested? It's currently about 5:16 p.m. and I'm gonna be drinking coffee. That means I'm still gonna have caffeine circulating in my system till about 10 o'clock tonight. So say I go to bed 8:30, 9 o'clock, like a reasonable person would. Reasonable. I may not be able to sleep, or I might have disruptive sleep up until 10 p.m. It actually takes about 10 hours for it to be completely removed from your system. So what a good idea would be is look for a decaf option, because you don't need that coffee before bed, or better yet, anytime after 3 p.m. But coffee's good because it helps you wake up in the morning. It gives you that extra little boost in the afternoon, right? But as of now, I don't think I need this coffee. It's a solid 8 hours. So, that's what happens when you get a full night's rest. Fun fact time, guys. Did you know that when you're dieting and you're not getting enough sleep, 70% of the weight that you lose will come directly from the lean body mass? So your body becomes quite stingy when trying to give up weight when it's in a sleep-deprived state. That's all from me today in this video. I hope you liked it. I hope these tips help you get better sleep, bigger balls, better gains, right? That's what we want. So I'll catch you guys next week in another video. But till then, stay safe, train hard, stay massive.
Phone usage.
All right, take all that, hold on. Real quick. Right, tip number 2. Essentially, no, don't worry. Essentially, I don't know. I always laugh every time I say essentially. I need to prioritize sleep.
That was my fault.